one of the first things that I want to clear up is some people don't know what caulk is, right? And we're saying caulk, the Caulk Artist, which is a clever name. It's very clever.
Thank you, with the LK.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw it and I heard it, I was like, oh, that's smart.
Thank you.
That's very smart.
Yeah, branding. I was thinking
exactly.
Of branding.
So tell us, for the people who don't know what caulk is, what is caulk?
So the quickest way to describe it is the construction material that you use to line your bathrooms, your sinks. It creates a barrier between a lot of times water and a surface. It's also kind of an adhesive, so when you're putting your sink up against the wall, it's going to kind of help hold and limit the gap or space that's there. So construction material.
Construction material. So you are every hardware store's favorite customer.
I am.
When you come in.
I am. I'm actually known at the Home Depot in the section where the caulk is. They're like, oh, hey, Nicole.
Okay. I was going to ask you that. Because when you walk in, you see the DAP everywhere.
I do, yeah, lots of DAP, which is my favorite brand. It's funny, the branding part of it, I actually have had friends send me links like, oh, did you know caulk is at the dollar store? And I'm like, what? Like, that's the most random thing to be at a dollar store. And I literally went and tried it, and it's not the same. It's not DAP caulk. It's very different. It's a lot thinner, a lot more water-based, so it doesn't hold as well, and it's not as tacky and sticky. Yeah. But yeah, so DAP caulk. So hit me up, DAP.
That's the one. That's the one. So if you have to choose, if you're going to paint with caulk, right?
Yeah, please use DAP.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit, because what makes somebody decide, you know what, let me paint with caulk? Let me just mention too, the first time I saw it, I believe it was at Hardy and Nance a few years ago.
Okay.
So one of your pieces, and the texture is what immediately catches my eye. So when I first see it, I think it's more like an impasto, however you say that, like a real thick oil or acrylic paint. But then you can get up and touch it, and you're like, oh yeah, this is the material that's in my bathtub. This is so. What makes somebody decide, let me do this?
Yeah, so I'm going to date myself a little bit here, but I've been creating and doing art for a while, all the way back to high school, but I didn't pursue it in college, right? So I went a totally different route, and then got married, had kids, so everything for art went in a closet, and all the football tournaments and band orchestra tournaments, all that stuff became priority. And then the kids start to get a little bit older, and you kind of find yourself getting a little bit of time back. And so I was like, oh, let me just pull all my art stuff out, which at the time was just acrylic. It's not like it is today where you can buy, is it Gafferty, all these different brands that have all kind of different texture, color materials. Then you had to make your own, or mix your own and get your own density. And we had a lot of tricks then, whether it was adding baking soda or whatever we could find to get that texture. And so around that time, I was kind of undergoing some health concerns. I kind of found out I had endometriosis, and this was, again, before Dr. Google, kind of dating myself, so you can't just Google and find whatever you think is going on or need information on. So very limited and just frustrated, and the best way to kind of get myself out of that was to create. And I was trying to create this picture, which was very similar to Edward Munch's The Scream, and I just resonated so much with that. It's kind of how I felt at the time. But I couldn't get that linear effect that I was trying to get when I was outlining the picture or the creative. And so then therapy was creating, and also just for me, a lot of projects like construction, little house projects, redesign, painting a room, that kind of, not massive like building anything, but just little projects. And so was working on an art piece, was also redoing a bathroom, and I was like, I'll come back to this, and went in and kind of started redoing the tub lining. And then I realized while I was squeezing, the caulk gun, I was like, oh, this is a line. Like, this is exactly what I wanted and what I needed. So then it was like, test, okay, is this going to work? Is it going to stick on a canvas? Like, who else is doing this? And again, pre-Google, so there wasn't a whole lot of information out there yet for me. But it worked. And I came to find out it wasn't so much the material as much as it was me enjoying the process. Like, I love holding this gun. And at the moment, it was empowering almost, like, can't actually shoot anything, but kind of, can. And then just experimenting after that. Like, it was a while since I had felt free, to do, what I wanted to create and just, throw it on a canvas. And so it just really allowed for that. And so I did. I went to the hardware store and I bought multiple boxes and had just fun, like just playing with it. And it can very much resemble sculpting at times. Like you can really build up with it. It can resemble, obviously the linear effects, but one of my inspirational artists is Pollock and some of his work. And so just taking that concept that he does with paint and squiggly, crazy lines, I can do with more of a relief effect.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I never thought that it would have anything to do with the actual position of your hands holding the gun.
Yeah.
So even when you're doing it, because in my mind, I think of you doing it like you're squeezing it, but no, you're doing it with the gun thing.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
And that's the fun part. So, and then again, things, just everything evolves and gets better over time. And so there, all of a sudden, I'm, getting links of there's an electric version. Like you can get one that like, and it, so it sprays consistently. And people are like, it's great because you get these, perfect edges when you're doing construction. And I was like, well, I kind of like sometimes that it's thinner and you can cut the cap different so that it's, has a thicker, more solid presence as opposed to the skinnier, thinner string lines. And
okay, so you can change the texture, the thickness of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you? So what was it about the texture that pulled you in originally?
It was really versatile. I could do anything to it. I could paint it. I mean, it even says on the container that within 20 minutes it's ready to be painted. And then the other part of it too, I was you're always thinking about longevity for your art, and I was like, well, if this can withstand in a house for 30 years, surely it can last on canvas, right? So
also like all the water hitting it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Gunk and everything.
We're in Houston. It's super humid, so the humidity aspect of it, I was like, like this should hold or should work for them. And again, not a whole lot of information out there yet, so I really was in a very exploratory phase, like just learning as I go and no reference, just doing. And so, and since then, I think I've only seen or found one other person that's like in Italy that uses Caulk.
All right. Well, you already got the name on lockdown, so
I do.
and I think I liked it too because it is kind of provocative. If we're being honest, when I hear the Caulk Artist, I'm like, what did you say?
It's great.
what did
great dinner conversation.
Yeah, it gets people to say, wait, what? Let me check that out. Let me Google it, right? Let me look it up.
Yep. Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
And speaking of provocative, I can't talk to you without we got to talk about the flagging stuff on Instagram because to me, Instagram can be like straight up porno these days. Like, it's like,
for sure. Yeah.
There's all kinds of crazy stuff. But then when I hear that you're getting flagged for your work, it just makes me scratch my head.
It's like, crazy. What? Yeah. Are you prepared for your first flag podcast?
Yeah. You're supposed to use other words, I guess, but it's okay. I don't really care.
Yeah. It is. It's wild, and I agree. I get people sending me all the time, like, "Oh, I can't believe this doesn't get flagged, and your art does." And it is. Some of it is very detailed and very provocative. And so, and like I said, just some of it's almost porn in some cases. And so it blows my mind. I think it's a combination of things, though. It's not just being the Caulk artist, and maybe there's something tied to that, but also a lot of what I do is very figurative, and so there's a lot of female form and shapes that's kind of involved there. But being flagged so much has kind of become a story in itself. There's moments where I'm like, I'm just gonna run with it because you know what, I'm over it.
Yeah.
So, and I was at a point sometimes where I kind of felt a little like, man, you want to give up, but part of me also is like, why? Like, for what? Like, this is fun. It's kind of funny now. A lot of people can usually relate to it, and so we just roll with it, roll with punches.
Yeah. Do you think? I think it also makes people empathize, to be honest with you, because people talk about the work too. First of all, questioning why? Why is your stuff being flagged when I can go to I have another account back from my gym days when I was a personal trainer, and that is like straight up half naked women working out in provocative positions, and that's the actual thing. And here we're talking about art, which is not, I wouldn't even say suggestive. It's just figure art. It's the female form. It's done with a lot of taste, in my opinion.
Thank you.
There's nothing that's grotesque about it or anything. So it's confusing.
Yeah. A lot of what I try to do is empower situations, and a lot of this series are around that fine line and that mixture of women between feeling sexy, feeling powerful, or being empowered. In my 9 to 5, I'm in a corporate, very male-dominant world, and so there's a constant consciousness of that. Like, I'm in this room full of these men and executives. I, don't want to be too sexy, but at the same time, I am who I am.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to encourage any lack of respect for me and myself. Those experiences have really transitioned to a lot of my art. Just talking about those, sharing those moments, and then working with other women. In my Behind the Blinds series, a lot of it is people who are like, I worked hard. I'm in my 50s or 40s, and I work out and I eat great, and to what end? And so they're like, I'd love to have a picture of me painted to kind of capture that. And it's really about empowering them in that moment that they're in at that time. And so, and I want to embrace that, because there's this fine line between shame, I guess, of feeling shame, feeling for, being too sexy at whatever moment. But if that's how you feel and you feel good about it, no matter what your body shape is, why not? Why not be able to share that and be able to capture it as much as I can on canvas?
Yeah, and what is the alternative? To be a man?
Right.
Well, we don't want that either.
We don't want that either.
And that's why I really like the Behind the Blinds series. That's one of my favorites, because it's like piques your interest. It's like, oh yeah, that's a sexy image. But it's just black and white, and it's lines, and it reminds me of like, growing up in the 80s. Like, we would watch movies that were suggestive, but not really. They were like, the R-rated movies back then was like, give you a hint of it.
Yeah, like just a shadow.
Yeah.
So versus now, which is there's not a lot left for the imagination.
Correct.
And that's a large part of it.
And that's probably what it is. That's a good way to explain it. It's the imagination. It opens up, because, again, it's just the figure itself. And being a figure artist myself, I'm always drawn to that. As a man, I'm also always drawn to the female figure that's just not going to go away. And when you do it in a really tasteful way, I think it's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's a large part of it, just being able to share that power, letting women know that they don't have to feel a certain way about it, and letting them know that they can be sexy, but they can still be respected, they can still be strong. A lot of that is always found in my work. And again, muses vary, whether it's my daughter, whether it's my mom. Believe it or not, our moms are sexy. So they especially
Dad thought so.
were. Yeah, right? He did.
Hope so.
But yeah, so there's windows there where they were different women than what we know. And so, and I feel a lot of that transition now. So between my mom and her time, and my time, and now my daughter's time, things just to see that evolution is fascinating to me. So my daughter, her generation is so much freer and open. I feel like my generation is in between that crux a little, right? We're kind of free, but we're kind of not, because in the back of our head over here is someone saying, calm down, that's not how you're supposed to be. And then there's my mom's who's like, I'm not wearing those shorts or that bikini. That's just I'm not comfortable with. But so that evolution, I think, is something that I've always been really drawn to also.
This episode is brought to you by Bridge the Gaps. Every young person deserves the chance to succeed. Bridge the Gaps empowers at-risk youth and their families through education, life skills, financial readiness, and one-on-one mentorship, helping young people overcome obstacles and build brighter futures. You can be a part of that impact. Visit bridgethegaps.org/donate to make a donation, volunteer, or learn how you or your company can partner with Bridge the Gaps. Together, brighter futures can be built for Houston's youth. Now back to the show. Yeah, and so that's the exploration of your work tends to be in the female form, although you have other subjects as well. In fact, when I was looking through your portfolio, I was pleasantly surprised to see a lot of different things. There's a lot of collage. In fact, I think the first piece I saw of yours at Hardy Knits was a collage piece with some caulk thrown in there. The whole the rappers from the 80s and 90s, which is my era, like the DMX, Tupac, Biggie, that was the big three right there.
I love collage. I feel like it's such an understated art form. It's coming out more. I feel like you've got a lot of really great artists right now that are doing a lot with collage that I know I personally follow. For me, collage is a moment when I can't create, if that makes sense. I love just the handwork of cutting up something, preserving it, and putting it into, just different shapes and forms. And it's a great balance and a break sometimes because you see these shapes and figures, but sometimes the caulk doesn't act right.
Right,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't do what I want it to do. And I know that's when I need to take a break. And so just doing something that's completely different, cutting and kind of puzzle working these collages, it's a nice break, a nice change for me. So.
I agree. It works something else in your brain. I had never done collage, and then I took a workshop in it, and ever since then I've been incorporating a little bit into my own stuff. And there's something, it's totally different than painting or drawing.
Yeah.
It's working a different part of your brain, but it's still creative. You're using things that already exist.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of, I like the
that.
word puzzle. I like how you
and
use that.
Preserving is the other part of it for me that's important. The CD pieces, I grew up with CDs.
That's
so
what it was, CDs, yeah.
CDs were,
and we'll show pictures so people know.
Awesome, yeah. No,
I want them to see the DMX one for sure.
love that piece. Just taking, so DMX is a great example, but taking his full discography and searching for the CDs, because that was a challenge in itself, is trying to find all of them. And I look high and low, and everyone's like, "Oh, go to a pawn shop." And no, it's a massive pile, like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
A lot of times, but found some online, like on your eBays and your Mercaris and your Facebook marketplaces. But just making sure I had his full discography before I started the collage was a fun part of that process, because it's the hunt, right? It's making sure I have everything, and then actually starting on the piece itself, so that there's a little bit of representation from all his works in that one piece of art. So I have one right now, the Prince piece that I'm working on, which is a larger scale piece, because obviously Prince has a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I love it because people are constantly asking me, like, when are you going to get that one sealed and out? And I'm like, I can't, because I'm missing about 8 good CDs from that collection that I just can't find.
Where do you look online for that stuff? Okay.
Online is the best place, just because things are usually sorted there and a little bit easier to weed through. But every now and then I'll be in the middle of Georgetown, Texas, and be in a thrift store and run across a stack of CDs, and you gotta look just in case.
You have to, yeah.
Just in case.
Because what if it's there and you didn't know?
And you didn't know. And I always tell people, I know everyone has a box of CDs at home that they're not using, because they're all just collecting dust. Unless you're some of those few people that are, collectors, like how albums are coming back. Yeah. But if you have a Prince CD, please reach out to me and let me know.
The Caulk Artist, yes, she needs it.
Let me know, I need it.
So you've, again, the Behind the Blind series was a big one. You did the collage works. You also paint. So talk to me about that. Do you paint with just acrylic paint, or do you incorporate caulk into all of that?
I've done both.
Okay.
So DAP caulk only comes in a few colors because it's construction based. You got blacks, browns, there's gray, which is subject and it's kind of questionable, and then of course your whites and maybe an off-white. So I've mixed color into that to try to utilize that for some linear pieces, which is fun, and again very experimental, which I love. That's kind of part of the reason I create. And then for just regular paintings, some acrylics, some oils. I feel like as an artist, as a true creative, you're constantly challenging yourself and wanting to try different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes trying those things tells me what I don't like. So there's some things I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's not fun. It's stressful. It's pressure. But it's the process, and I just genuinely enjoy creating. So even bread making, cooking are all forms of creation, and so I just find myself gravitated to that kind of opportunity.
Yeah, and it seems like you do deep dives, like because you have the series, and I love artists who have series.
I'm committed.
Because it lets you explore the whole gamut, right?
Yeah.
The Behind the Blind series, I counted 20-some pieces. Maybe there's more than that.
25.
25, okay. And who knows, or do you continue that, or is it?
I might. It's one where right now I'm kind of content with where it's stopped, but if the time presents itself, great. The other one is The Weights of Women. So that one kind of started off with very colorful, bright pieces that were smaller, kind of 10 by 10 sizes, and they were just about taking the form and putting them into an emotional moment. And so then I created a few, but then I stopped, and now I've kind of resurfaced with those again, but in different shades, different colors. And so And I struggle with that as an artist because I feel like a series doesn't have to end just because you did a show for it or whatever. So sometimes, if it really resonates with you, you go back to it. And for me, there's no rules. There's no rules to a lot of that.
Yeah, you can see that there's definitely a lot of emotion in those pieces in particular, and they're very colorful. Lots of different color combinations.
Movements and
a lot of movements. It's the abstracted form, right?
Yep.
So it's kind of seeing it in a different
perspective
or way. Whereas these here behind us, these are more realistic in terms of the representation
of the shape
of the figure.
And the form.
Right.
And the weights for that one are definitely settled around the breasts, right? Like those are the figurative weights, but the emotional weights. There's a tie that I try to make there because it's one of those things that women have. And so there's an aspect there that I always try to lean back on, just because we do bear things different, from men, from everyone, and each woman on her own accord.
Yeah. In fact, you because you also write a great newsletter, so you should sign up for a newsletter. You asked some questions in one of them, in one of the recent ones, so I wrote them down. And I wanted to know if you found out any answers to any of these. So the first one was, is it possible to celebrate the female body without objectifying it?
I like to think so, but my experiences tell me no. Like I feel like there's always some in the back of mind, some objectification at some point or another. So.
Yeah, and I think that's a question that's answered differently depending on if you're a man or a woman. So if you're a heterosexual man, it's hard to not see at least some. I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't objectifying.
Sure.
I would be a straight up liar. Now that doesn't mean that I have to lean into that.
Right.
I can pull myself back and hey, let's have some class here.
Yeah.
But especially if it's on a painting on a wall, like my immediate reaction is, it catches my attention. Why? Because that's what I'm attracted to.
Yep. Exactly.
And so, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Another one, can art challenge viewers to see women as experiences rather than subjects? I like that question.
I did too. Yeah. I rewrote that question probably 6 times because I was like, man, I'm having a hard time getting this out the way I want to say it. But it's another one of those, no, but I'd like to say yes answers.
Yeah.
So I feel like you said earlier, there's, depending on who you ask, will depend on how things are perceived. So.
Yeah, and I think, again, everybody has positive and negative experiences of both, of all of the genders, whatever.
Absolutely.
I can think of, I won't get into the details right now. That's for another podcast, another time. And the last one that I wrote down here was, and why does artwork that explores womanhood still make people uncomfortable? I want to know the answer to this too, because we don't get uncomfortable about seeing a cowboy smoking a cigarette leaning against the wall,
Yeah, we do not. Yeah, absolutely. And it
is.
I feel like if you even go back to way back in the day, like there's still, pictures there or art that you see that can make people feel a certain way. And I feel like that is what makes the art interesting, is the uncomfortable aspect of it. So. Yeah.
I also think that that's a magic or a unique thing that women have over men. Like we can look at pictures of men and be like, meh.
Yeah.
But you can look at an average woman like, whoa, just immediately. And that's, again, we're different,
Right.
Man and woman, very different. Switching subjects.
Okay.
Tell me about the Tenacious Artists organization. That's something that you're a big part of. So tell me, what is that? Explain that.
Yeah. So a while ago, we were trying to find ways to just get our art seen. Me and a group of friends, and all artist friends. And so one of the thoughts was, instead of trying to do Call for Arts, which a lot of us do and participate in, and instead of trying to get into galleries, was to create our own opportunities. And so essentially Tenacious Artists was just that. Like we were pulling together amongst ourselves to create various shows, and at the time a group of women, and we curated one of our first shows, Elements of Contrast, which I think was over a year ago, which was great and very successful. Loved it. Good group, but what I found was in art, you know, a lot of times you get people in and everyone is gung-ho for a while in a certain project, and then it kind of dissipates. And I think that is the life of an artist almost.
Yeah.
You know, everyone kind of, we're all in, but we also are kind of our own individuals. And so, but the purpose of it was met. I mean, we wanted to do a show that had our art in it, and we did. And so, and I loved it. It was a great moment of just camaraderie. It was a great opportunity for all artists to, or all within the group to do something different and kind of challenge ourselves. And we all tapped into our abilities to curate. We found, you know, a venue, and we did the things that needed to be done. So I think it was a great experience. I recommend that for anyone that has a chance to do so, to participate in any kind of art group, culture, community, society, or if you can't find one, make your own.
Yeah, exactly. And you also, I think you learn a lot from being on the other side of the art world when you're curating, doing any sort of admin work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
and
have a new respect
marketing,
for,
all of it. Yeah, and you do. It just puts perspective on a lot of that. And when you come from something like that and having that experience under your belt, I've loved to see how we all kind of branched after that. You know, some of us continued to do more shows, some of us went on to do specific residencies, and some of us jumped into other groups so that we can, you know, continue to do the next show. And so just watching everyone and what we've learned, and then take those learnings to the next level and help our own art crafts, I think was huge. So.
Yeah, I think people don't realize how, just if you're trying to do this as a business, if you're trying to make any sort of money, how much work actually goes behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Not only that, you're also a really good content creator. So I've picked up a lot of tips from just watching you and watching what you do. There's so much that goes behind the scenes, even just doing a little Instagram reel.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and so you have a deep respect for that. How much of your time do you spend thinking about that sort of thing? I'm just curious.
So it's funny. I used to put a lot of thought into it and really want to be strategic and really think about, like, this is what I want to promote right now, or this is the artwork I want to talk about. And then after a while, I was like, what was the purpose of social media? And it was to be social. And we get so far away from that because we're trying to promote our businesses, right? And so there was some hardship. There was a little bit of a humbling moment there. And after a while, I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. You're overthinking it. This is not your website. It's not your CV, and it's not your bio, and it's not an application. Could those people maybe see it? Of course, so be mindful of that. Don't post anything too crazy.
Right.
But at the same time, like, it was intended to be social and fun. And I think we, especially as business owners, whether you're an artist or whether you make candles or whatever, we get so far away from that we forget to just have fun. And so I've kind of gotten back to that. Like, I think right now, record time, I can throw together a reel in under 10 minutes.
Good.
And it's nothing fancy, but it gets the point across, or it gets a message across. And it also kind of meets my need to want to post so that I remain relevant and don't become irrelevant. And I think that's important as an artist and someone that wants to not let people forget about what I do. And so, but I don't put too much thought into it anymore.
That's good. That's good. I don't either.
Yeah.
For the same reasons. And I think a lot of us, I don't know, for me specifically, when I first got into this, when I wanted to create an art persona or brand, I watched all the videos by all the influencers on how to do all the things. And guess what? No, that doesn't work for me.
Right.
And I did all the things, and I stopped having fun. It became a job, and it became frustrating.
It's a chore. Yeah.
A chore, and so then you don't want to do it. So if you can make it fun, like for me, it's really fun talking to artists about their work and seeing how they do it. And so let me just use that.
And reuse. When people ask me all the time, I'm like, reuse your content. I think we are so in our head about not, like, I already posted that. Someone, they'll already know. And no, they have no idea.
No one saw it.
No one saw it. You saw it and nobody else. That's it. Repost it.
Yeah, you have to get out of your head that, like, what do the kids call it now? First player, some
syndrome,
Yeah, first. I can't see. This tells you how out of tune I am.
But also, and you said short attention spans too. Like nowadays, even if it's a longer, I don't know, 15-second, which is crazy to call 15 seconds long.
Right.
But if you just chop and use the end of it versus the beginning, like that's content. You don't have to record everything fresh every day and start from scratch. And I honestly keep a nice little blurb of what I really want from social, which for me, the objective at the end of the day isn't even to sell art, it's to build my email list. And so I keep a little copy paste that I can easily just throw that content in.
Yeah, that's smart. Quick pause, friends. Just want to let you know that the show is growing, the audience is growing, and as I build episodes, I'm also looking for sponsorship opportunities. So if you are an interested sponsor or you know someone who may be interested in sponsoring the show, please reach out to me at jeff@jefflungart.com and we'll see how we can partner together. Now back to the show. Another thing that you did that I stole from you, and I think you probably stole it from somebody else, is using the loop, like the 3 or 4 5-second loop.
Oh, yes.
For getting more views. Yeah, because it's short. And then there's times where I'm looking at it and I set it down and it's still running.
Yeah. Oh,
and I'm like, oh.
Right, or you're reading something and it's still going. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I literally, like, a lot of that is what I say to myself, what did I do? Like, okay, so I was scrolling today and for longer than I want to admit. And then I'm like, what caught me? Like, what made me look? And there was one where there was almost a whole paragraph over a video. And I read that paragraph and that thing must have looped 8 times while I read it. And I was like, what? So,
it's smart.
Yeah, and then I was like, literally just go recreate that, but in an art form. So,
yes, and have fun while doing it.
Have fun while doing it, yeah. Make fun a little bit, have fun.
Right. And I just remembered it's main character syndrome, right?
Oh, main
Is
character?
That it?
I don't
it's either
know.
that or first player.
Player.
That doesn't make sense. I think it's main character syndrome. I'm learning all these Gen Z words and terms, and they're very
where you're
weird.
The main character, where you're more consumed with your content. And,
I'm not an NPC, which is a something character. It's like one of the bots is just walking around. They're not the real thing. In fact, speaking of bots, I was going back to the whole flagging thing. Do you think some of that is because they're using AI to flag stuff? Because I've done portraits of kids before because people pay me to paint their kids, and I've gotten flagged for having somebody's kid painted, right? And,
art,
and I was like, what? Why? I didn't do anything. And so I think robots are part of that, right?
I do, for sure. I think that's a huge part of it. I think there's just some kind of flag that's there. I've tried to change certain keywords to kind of help with that a little bit. The other theory I have is someone told me that there's a good chance you might have a hater. And I was like, what? I was like, what? But your mama says you haven't made it until you have a hater.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing. But it could be that someone's, flagging.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I've opened a video and then all of a sudden something pops up and it's like, hey, are you flagging this because it's, one of these options? I'm like, no, I don't want to flag it. But so where did that come from? Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a little bit of user error sometimes there also. But I will say, and I don't post this enough, while stuff is flagged and it's pulled temporarily, a lot of times I'll dispute it and it will come back. So it's just lost its momentum at that point because it's been in quarantine for however long.
So do you actually get responses from Meta or Instagram or whoever it is? Because I do. Okay, you did. Okay.
I don't know that it's a person. I just know it's this was an error and your post has been re-established.
Good.
So I'm like, which is nice, but I'm like, oh, that's great. That's like 3 days ago. So I've posted 3 posts since then.
Okay.
So it feels a little like it's a kind of counterproductive and but at least they're seeing it.
That's true. And it seems like Instagram is a black hole sometimes because there was a time I hope they don't hate me for this.
Flag you.
But I get all kinds of like bugs in the program, in the app.
Yeah.
It's very buggy.
There'll be
I went through like a month and a half period where I couldn't post any reels.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't let me.
They wouldn't let you? Oh,
it just it said and it had some weird pop-up every time, like you are not authorized to do that. I'm like, why?
Why?
And then just one day, everything was back.
Yeah, well, and that's the weird thing about social media. I think we've become so involved that we forget we don't own it. And so that's why me building my email list is so important.
Another smart move.
I don't know if you were around when Instagram just went down. Like no one could log in. Almost like when TikTok got shut down temporarily. Like you're clicking it, nothing's happening. It's so frustrating. You have no way to get in touch with your people. And I know multiple people preach this all the time about, get your email list just in case you need to reach out to people. But it really is. Like if they decide one day they want to pull it, what are we going to do?
They can too.
They can.
And they have.
They have.
There's several creators who they've just eliminated.
Shut them down. They have to start all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so then those people usually have to create their own platform, or if they have it. I mean, I'm talking about people who are already kind of well known.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know that I have the energy to start all over.
I don't either.
I'm not doing it.
I don't either. It's too much. Yeah. Well, another thing. So I mentioned your email newsletter. That's great to have. Yeah. Just the ability to write, like actually write. I don't think a lot of people have that anymore. I noticed you have a blog too.
Yeah.
Like old school blog, right?
Yeah.
I used to blog myself. That's a fun way to connect with your collectors and fans too.
Yep.
By using the spoken word. I'm afraid that people aren't going to be able to read in the future.
Really? No, it's a valid fear. I mean, they don't even teach cursive anymore. So now it's like, well, how do you sign? Like, how do you know how to sign? So,
right.
I have people that are collectors that like to read. So I know when I write that someone is specifically receiving this. And that's nice. It's nice to know that it's not just going out there. But I like to write. So even if no one read it, I think I would still write it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just doing it for me,
and
really.
Similar to, I think a lot of creatives, that's another way to work your creative brain in a different way. Similar to the collage, the painting. It's all creation, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Different muscle that gets exercised, I guess. And it brings a lot of understanding to your work too. In fact, me just kind of reading up on you before we had this conversation, I gathered all kinds of good information just from reading.
Okay, nice, awesome.
So,
I'm
good.
really worried, like, what did I write?
Oh, well, no, great stuff, yeah. I think, so we'll put that up here. Everybody can find your work on your website, thecaukartist.com, which we'll put up here. And then again, I mentioned this, good for you, locking down the Caulk Artist on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and X too, I think, right?
Everywhere.
You're on all of it.
Anywhere I can get it, I grabbed it. So even if I wasn't actively posting, like I don't do much on X anymore, but I just was like, let's just lock it down so I have it in case I want to use it. So I always recommend that. Even if it's your name, it doesn't have to be a clever, the Caulk Artist thing. It could just be your name.
Yeah.
So just grab it before someone else does.
Right. Well, good for you. Let's, before we go, I have to ask you the rapid fire questions, which everybody gets. Some of these you may have heard before, some of them may be new. It's okay. I don't think about these too much. Just give me the first things on the tip of your tongue. This will give us a little more background into who you are as a person, as an artist, all the things. Okay?
I'm ready.
All right. So the first, also both is not an answer.
Okay.
Okay. I have to put that disclaimer out there.
Everything is both.
Everything is both. Okay. So the first one is coffee or tea?
Definitely coffee.
Coffee. Okay.
Yeah, hot black.
Hot and black. Okay. Gotcha. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Okay. I think you already answered this, but Lowe's or Home Depot?
Home Depot.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Lowe's.
It's okay. I used to work at Lowe's back in the day, so
I'm not opposed to Lowe's.
No shade thrown. It's okay.
I just know Home Depot and where everything is at.
Yeah,
Lowe's,
there
I'm
you
like,
go.
where am I?
Yeah. It's funny, actually, Lowe's is based on Home Depot, at least their layout. It's almost exact the same.
Really?
So, yeah, if you worked in one, you can work in the other.
Feels backwards, but go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Forest or beach?
Ooh. I just became a hiker, so I do love a good forest, but I'm going to go with beach.
Okay.
I still love the beach.
Beach. How about sweet or savory?
Sweet. I have issues.
All right. All right. Plan or no plan?
No plan.
No plan.
Yeah, definitely no planner.
Okay.
I love to just go with the flow, and I can go with the flow easily.
Quick question on the caulk then. If you make a mistake, is it easy to fix?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Mistake
in quotes, of course.
Right, yeah. There are, as long as it's wet, as long as it remains moist, you can always scoop, change, move, push. I take a paintbrush and kind of line it and push it around. But once it's dry, that's it.
That's it. So do you spray it to keep it wet? Okay.
Yep, I have. Cover it, spray it, turn your fans off.
Okay.
Everything.
And how long does it take before it dries?
It's firm within 25, 30 minutes-ish,
Oh.
but it's firm on the surface. So like I could paint it gently, but if it's thick, like a layer, I could push this and it would move.
Okay.
So you need about a good 24 hours.
Okay.
before it's-
So slower than acrylic,
yes,
for sure.
internally, like a good
Internally,
24
yeah.
hours, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good to know, all you future caulk artists. All right. City block or country road?
Oh, city block.
City block. All right. Early bird or night owl?
Definitely a night owl.
Night owl.
I'm not a morning person.
Okay. That's the coffee. Movies or books?
Wow.
If you had to choose, only one.
Movies.
Movies. Okay.
Yeah.
This one has 3. Beer, wine, or shots?
None.
None. Okay.
Stop drinking.
Okay. Amen. All right. I have to be careful
It
with
would have been a wine. It would have been a wine.
Would have been a wine?
before. Yeah,
Okay,
it would
all
have
right.
been. I'll definitely cut back.
You know, it's amazing what not drinking will do for your sleep,
It's
for
so
your
crazy.
brain,
Everything.
for
Yeah.
everything.
You remember things. Like it is.
Yeah.
Sleep better. It is. It's really crazy. But
Yeah.
it's only been maybe 4 months now
Okay.
since my sober journey. But
Right on.
it's good.
Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm
Okay.
excited.
All right. Long walk or long drive?
Where are we going? Where are we driving?
I don't know.
Long walk.
Okay. Create with music or no music?
What are we listening to?
I don't know.
I'm going to say no music. I'm definitely
music?
more of a podcast listener, so
Okay.
voices, words. I like music when it's on, but I can create without it for sure.
Okay. Cool. Trust your eye or trust your gut?
Ooh, gut. My eyes lie to me all the time.
All right. Yeah. Mine do too. How about museum quality or street level energy?
Ooh, street level energy.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
I can feel that, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the last one here is art that whispers or art that shouts?
Shouts.
Shouts.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with shouts.
All right.
Whisper is good. We just talked about the whole delicate and kind of hidden thing, but there's noise behind it, I feel like. So I'm gonna say shouts.
All right. And I think a lot of your work does say, hey, look at me, you know? Especially the painting,
Yeah.
the non-caulk paintings. I think the behind the blinds is a little more whispery, but yeah, some of these, they're a little more boom.
Yeah.
I like that.
Little transition. I feel like it's these waves of creativity. Like it's kind of right now I'm in my loud era. So
All right.
just going with it.
Okay. A loud vibe, all that.
Colorful.
Low key.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to mix in my Gen Z talk
Gen Z
that I
words.
know. Awesome. All right, well, Nicole, thank you very much for joining us again. We can check out your work on thecaulkartist.com and then the Caulk Artist on all social media platforms.
Yep.
Go check her out, follow her, like and subscribe, do all the things.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Also, I forgot to mention, can't forget this. You can also see your work in person. If you're on your newsletter, you'll get all the updates on when things are coming out.
Yes.
But you're also can be found at the Blue Prolific Galleries in Houston, Texas, right?
Correct. Yep. On the north side of Houston, I have art there regularly, which is great. Nice local female Black-owned gallery. Check it out.
Awesome. Okay, so go see Nicole's work. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all of the things.
things.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.